Hey guys, it's Maddie from Let's Eat Plants. The Easter weekend is upon us, so I thought it would be fun to try out some Easter-inspired recipes. Or even if you don't celebrate Easter, I guess these could be considered some spring-inspired recipes, although I also feel that they're good any time of year. They're basically just some delicious-looking recipes that I've seen a lot of people posting in the last few weeks, and I thought it would be fun to try some of them out. So of course, I will leave all the original recipe links in the description box down below, as well as my modifications to them, and let's go ahead and start. The first recipe we're going to try today is actually from Forks Over Knives, although like I said, I have seen a lot of people posting different variations of this recipe, and that is for deviled egg potatoes. I mean, there's no egg in it at all. It's just deviled potatoes, but it's supposed to be a replacement for like the traditional deviled egg. So I was actually never a big fan of deviled eggs, even before I was vegan. Just not really my cup of tea, but when I started reading through the recipe for these deviled potatoes, they actually sound really good. It basically uses a potato with a little scoop out of the middle where you would put your filling, and the filling is basically just a mixture of hummus and mustard. And I love both of those things, so why not put them into a potato? I mean, it sounds really good. So ideally for this recipe, you would have a lot of those little small potatoes to make them look like eggs. I didn't have any. I only had large potatoes. I mean, kind of medium sized. Let me get them. So I just baked these potatoes last night. And yes, they are pretty big. They're definitely not the ideal size for this recipe, but you know what? This recipe is just for me and Q. I'm not having any kind of Easter or spring party or anything like that, so I don't really need to make a whole bunch of them. If you are gonna make them for a party or for guests or something like that, I would recommend using those small potatoes like they suggest in the original recipe, but since it's just for me, I am going to use these very medium-sized potatoes. I think I'll actually just do one. I think that will be plenty of potato. This one kind of looks like an egg. I think once I cut it in half, you'll get the idea. So let's go ahead and make this deviled potato egg. So this recipe is actually really easy if you already have your hummus ready and your potatoes ready. So I'm just using like a hummus that I make every week, which I will also leave the recipe for in the description box down below. So I have our hummus here ready to go, and according to the recipe, it just needs a little bit of mustard and some green onions, which I have chopped already. So we're just gonna mix all of that into a bowl. I'm not gonna make too much of it because I only have, you know, this one potato to fill, but let's just see how that mustard hummus combination tastes in the potato. I'm kind of excited to try this. Okay, let's taste this with just the mustard and green onions. Whew, that is mustardy. Oh my gosh, it's really good though. If you like mustard, yes. I think it needs a little bit of garlic powder and paprika though. Let's add that in there. Okay, maybe a little bit too much mustard. I think that I put the amount of mustard that you're supposed to use in like the whole entire hummus recipe, but that's pretty good. Let's load this into a potato. I mean, visually, yes, I think that the small ones would be a little bit better, but this is not bad. I actually feel like, you know, we got the shape right at least. And with the little sprinkle of paprika and everything, I think it's pretty good. Most importantly, of course, will be the taste test. I mean, I haven't had a lot of deviled eggs in my life, but I'm pretty sure that no potato is ever gonna taste like an egg. However, that being said, these are tasty for what they are. Little potatoes stuffed with mustard hummus. I mean, they taste good. I kind of like this combo just for an everyday snack. Why have I never thought of this before? Definitely not bad. And I think the little ones would be even better because you don't have this big old potato skin on the bottom to deal with. So like I said, I don't think they're gonna fool anyone for being real eggs, but they're actually quite tasty and they're healthy, they're whole food plant-based. Pretty good little snack option. Okay, for our next recipe, I wanted to try making a ham. Now, I think you guys know I love seitan. I make it quite often when I have Vital Wheat gluten to play with. So where did I come up with this recipe? Oh yes, I was on the phone with my mom talking to her about some vegan Easter recipe ideas, and she was like, you know, your dad really used to like ham. And I was like, ham? Is that an Easter thing? I don't know, like I said, I don't really know what qualifies as an Easter recipe, but apparently it's a thing. I Googled it and there's like, you can have an Easter ham. So why not make a vegan version of that? We are going to make it out of seitan, and I found a really good looking recipe on 86 Eats for a vegan ham, and I have made a seitan recipe from there before and it turned out really, really well. So we are going to try this vegan ham recipe. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I think if I wanted to make the effort to take out my stand mixer, I could knead it a little bit more, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and put this into our parchment and foil. I think you can directly put it into the foil, but I like to have that layer of parchment paper in between the foil and the food. And then the glaze calls for some brown sugar, dry mustard powder, and soy sauce, but I'm gonna just keep using maple syrup instead of sugar, and we'll put a little glaze on it and then put it into the oven. Okay, while our seitan ham is finishing up baking, let's go ahead and make the last recipe today. Now, I wasn't quite sure what to do for the last recipe because there were so many good ideas. I actually really wanted to make this hummus board that's in the shape of a rabbit face. I'll actually link that for you guys in the description box down below because I just thought it was like so cute. But it's really big, and like I said, it would be really perfect for a party or like a family get together, or even just, you know, more than one person eating a tray of hummus. It's just looking like a little bit too much food. And there are of course a lot of Easter chocolate recipes, but I wanted to do something a little bit healthier than that. So I was thinking to make a carrot cake. Now, I don't know why carrot cake is like Easter themed. I guess because Easter means rabbits and rabbits eat carrots? Is that why? But regardless, I do see a lot of carrot cake themes during Easter, so I thought it would be fun to do a carrot cake. Now I have made the forks over knives carrot cake recipe before, and it's really good. I'll link that video in the description box as well. I personally made that recipe into muffins, and they're actually really healthy and delicious. They're refined sugar-free, so those are definitely a good recipe to make if you're looking for a healthier carrot cake option. But I wanted to make something that is just enough for me today, so I'm gonna try making a microwave mug cake. But carrot cake, of course. Now, I have never tried making a microwave mug cake before. I'm actually really mind boggled by the whole concept. You can make a cake in the microwave? That seems so crazy to me. So we're just gonna make a little 1 serving portion. This would be perfect if you're just looking for a small amount of sweet treat just to satisfy a little bit of a craving without having any leftovers to deal with. So we're gonna try this carrot cake recipe in the microwave in a mug. I already get the feeling that this would taste better with frosting, but at least it looks done. I think I can actually take this out of the mug. It's still a little bit sticky on the edges. Ooh, it's kind of gummy. That is kind of dense, not gonna lie. I mean, it's not terrible. It's actually pretty good, with the raisins and everything. It's just that the consistency of the cake part is kind of dense and chewy. Definitely not the same as a baked cake, unfortunately. I was thinking that was too good to be true. I definitely say if you want a nicer carrot cake recipe, definitely go with the forks over knives one. This one is a little bit of a miss. It's fine for just me hanging out by myself on a Easter Sunday, but I think that if I wanted to impress anyone, I probably wouldn't make this. But the good news is that our ham is finished, so let's go ahead and try that. And I think that will be a lot more tasty. Now, the original recipe does say to let it sit overnight in the fridge, and that will improve the texture of it, but I'm just gonna cut off a little bit to try right now. I think that I will be able to get the general taste and everything for it. I think that just the texture will improve as it sits overnight. That is really good flavor. Ooh, the glaze, yes. The flavor is really delicious. It is a little bit spongy still, but I'm sure that the texture will improve overnight. That's a really good one. I'm gonna have to make that ham again. That glaze, oh my gosh, really good. Now, as I mentioned, I will leave all of these recipe links in the description box down below. So if you are looking for any last minute Easter weekend recipe ideas, there are plenty of healthy vegan options to choose from. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like down below. Also, let me know in a comment which of these recipes was your favorite, or if you have any other healthy vegan Easter inspired recipes to share, you can also leave that in a comment. And of course, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's eat plants, and I will see you guys next time.